Players, Abby Phillip is the GOAT. Every single time she gets an opportunity to sit down with these megamites, she presses them on fact after fact after fact, and it's absolutely extraordinary to watch them squirm as she hits them with facts and they have to try to think of a lie on the spot. So this right here is very important. This whole conspiracy theory about President Biden and Merrick Garland coordinating together to try to take Frump and Dump out the game during that FBI raid. Byron Donalds boasted that conspiracy theory by posting it on his Twitter, and Abby Phillip pressed him on it. Watch this, y'all. It's a complete... She did her thing.
Force for the FBI agents, standard boilerplate language, but you and others have described it as an assassination attempt on the former president. That's just not true. Why would you say something like that?
Well, first of all, my view of it is very simple. You have the FBI going in to do this raid on Mar-a-Lago. This is not like any other raid that they would do. FBI agents who did that raid did not want to do it. They didn't think it was necessary. And this is all politically motivated at the end because Merrick Garland wanted that to happen. Merrick Garland wanted the siege, which your network did cover, of going into Mar-a-Lago.
Congressman, with all due respect, the language for the search is standard operating procedure for every operation of that kind that the FBI does. They did the same thing when they searched Joe Biden's house.
Yes, but I would say
so how is that weaponizing?
Well, what I would say when they searched
Joe Biden weaponizing
when they searched Joe
himself?
Biden's house, there weren't all the networks, from my recollection, with helicopters flying over the beach.
I'm talking about the conspiracy theory that the FBI was trying to assassinate Trump.
Well, let's talk
Would
about,
you acknowledge that that is not true?
Well, let's talk about what's fact. Let's talk about what's fact.
Simple question.
What's fact
is it true or false that the FBI was trying to assassinate Trump?
What's fact is that Joe Biden violated the Espionage Act. He did it with impunity.
I just want to know.
Robert Hur is not prosecuting him.
Congressman, I just want to know that you are not responding to a very simple question about a conspiracy theory that you voiced.
What conspiracy theory?
That the FBI, by having on a document that they are authorized to use deadly force, was trying to harm or assassinate former President Trump. That is false. Will you acknowledge that?
Can I be very clear with you?
Sure.
I'm not sure what Merrick Garland is trying to do these days.
So the answer
because
is
it is clear that the Department of Justice is being weaponized against Donald Trump. That is clear.
That's pretty extraordinary.
That they're weaponized against Donald Trump. That's not extraordinary. That's what's happening right now.
It's pretty extraordinary that when faced with really clear facts, very clear facts, it's pretty much black and white, you won't acknowledge it. I'm trying to understand why.
Abby, we just had this
conversation. Is it because the former president himself has raised this conspiracy that you feel like you have to support it?
I've not even talked to the president about this. You asked me a question about the FBI raid. I'm telling you, we are witnessing a weaponization of the Department of Justice.
With you
that's not even equal
validity
justice
of the charges. It's a simple question of whether the raid was carried out in a way that was standard operating procedure for the FBI. And as I'm sure you know, the Republican Party calls themselves a party of law and order.
Yes,
the FBI, as law enforcement officers, they go and they execute search warrants every day under the threat of violence. And they have to have that language every single time to protect themselves. In this case, though, they coordinated with the president's lawyers. They coordinated with the Secret Service. Why would you insinuate that that was some kind of attempt at former President Trump's life?
Abby, I'm not making any insinuation.
It's very simple to just say that's not, you are changing the subject.
The purpose of the warrant is because of classified material, is it not?
I'm not talking about
but you have an unequal application of the law.
I'm talking about...
You have a two-tier system of justice that you don't want to actually acknowledge.
When you tell your supporters and the former president's supporters that there was a government attempt on the former president's life, and that is not true. That is a major insinuation, and it deserves to be walked back. It deserves to be walked back.
I would argue, Abby, that's a real situation. We should be talking about not about what's written in the FBI document.
Congressman, you talked about that. You tweeted about the FBI document.
I declare, honey, what a disgrace. I shared the entire interview on my Twitter because she also pressed him on other things regarding Charlottesville, regarding the fact that he was given the diversion program when he was 18 years old because he got caught with some sticky icky, and now he wants to take that from other people. She also pressed him on the fact that Frump and Dump talking about blacks love him because he was indicted and all this kind of stuff. Also, Byron Donalds was at a rally for Frump and Dump in the Bronx last night. It was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting. I really felt like I was watching something from the 1950s. Y'all put your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. This conspiracy theory that is being touted by Frump and Dump, Musty Marjorie, Byron Donalds, and several others about the FBI, coordinating with President Biden and Merrick Garland to try to take Frump and Dump out, that is a dangerous conspiracy theory, and they need to squash that, and they need to walk it back expeditiously, because it is dangerous. It is absolutely dangerous.